What's up, everybody? This is John with Jumpfair Innovations, bringing you more League of Legends Worlds 2021 content. And today, what I'm doing are some predictions about the day one of play-ins, how the games are going to go. In previous video, I talked about how I thought the groups were going to go as a whole, and this is now just a bit more specific to the individual days. So we've actually got 8 games tomorrow. So excited, can't wait for it to start. It feels like it's taken way too long for it to start, so I'm so glad that it's finally underway. So straight away, the first game of the night is going to be probably the one that people care about the most, which is Harmon Life versus LNG. We see Chovy versus Tarzan, two former Griffin alumni. In this game, as much as I like LNG and much as I think LNG's probably a better team overall, I'm going to give this one to Harmon Life just because I think in a best of one, Chovy is just so hard to beat. I've seen a bit of his solo queue as well. He's going absolutely insane. Last time I checked, I think he had like a 95% win rate. He is going absolutely berserk on solo queue along with Def. So they're in really good form at the moment. And I just see Harmon Life being able to take the game. I think Chovy is going to stomp and he's going to have a pop-off game, and we're all going to be talking about, Chovy Robot some more. So next up we have, of course, Infinity versus Red. Infinity obviously from Latin America and the Red Canids are from Brazil. Now I'm going to give this one to Red just because from what we saw of Pain Gaming at MSI, we saw a really strong performance from the region, and they've clearly showed that they can compete at international tournaments, and something that I don't think we've seen as much from our Latin American teams as we have from Brazil. So I'm going to give that one to Red. Having said that, a lot of these games between minor regions are very coin flippy, especially in a best of one. Next up, we have, of course, LNG versus, my boys from Oceania. Peace, represent Australia. So, of course, Peace is going to win this one, right? No way. As much as I would love to believe in the boys from Oceania, LNG, way too strong. LNG is a very good team. I think the only game they're going to lose in play-ins is to Harmon Life. So definitely LNG favored in that one. And I actually think Harmon Life is going to go through this group stage undefeated. Could easily be wrong. But again, I think Harmon Life is going to be way too much for Infinity. So now we move on to Group B, where we have Unicorns of Love versus Detonation Focus Me. I'm going to give this one to DFM. I'm just maybe I'm very high on DFM. Maybe I'm too high on them based on their MSI performance and the fact that that they've grown a lot stronger. Their team is a lot better. Unicorns of Love, we saw a very disappointing performance at MSI. They were in probably the easiest group for them to get out of. They were in a group of 3. So they were in the easiest group with RNG and, of course, from Oceania, Pentanet Gaming. So they really should have gotten out of that one. Not a good sign from a team that really a lot of people expect to always be pushing for a group spot. They made groups last year, but again they made groups and then they went 0-6. So it kind of leads the question, how good is Unicorns of Love? As well, Unicorns of Love got a little bit lucky as well that that MAD were eliminated before their best of 5 for qualification. So yeah, not the biggest. Haven't seen the greatest results from Unicorns of Love in the previous 2 international tournaments. So that's why I'm heading for Detonation Focus Me. But then again, Japan teams always have a lot of hype, and then sometimes they don't necessarily live up to that. Then we have, of course, Galatasaray versus Beyond. Doggo, I think, is going to pop off in this game, and it's going to be an easy one, I think, for Beyond Gaming. They're a very good team. As PSG, we know, is a very good team, and Beyond Gaming actually pushed them to 5 games in both of their best of fives. They won 1-3-2, and then they lost the final 2-3. So Beyond Gaming clearly showed that I believe they're a cut above the minor regions. Detonation Focus Me versus C9. I'm going to give this one to C9. I think C9 should win this game. I can see C9 losing it, if I'm being honest. I could see a world where they kind of choke a bit, but they should be heavily favored. They've got a lot of talent. They've got Perks, they got Spin, they got Fudge. A lot of talent on that roster, especially in a play-in setting. So NA fans, you should see a win tomorrow, hopefully. But then again, as I said, there is a world, as I said, where Detonation Focus Me overperforms, as I said in the previous video, and takes the game off C9. And then I think it becomes a bit more difficult for C9 to get out of the group if they drop a game to Detonation Focus Me. Lastly, the gas game of the night is going to be Unicorns of Love versus Galatasaray. I'm going to give this one to Unicorns of Love. I do, as much as I was saying about they've been disappointing, better than most of the minor regions, but weaker than the major regions. And so I think they should take that game, and they should be able to beat Galatasaray. They do have some really good talent. Nomads in the mid lane, we all know like things like his Kassadin picks, and the Unicorns of Love also love to do some spicy stuff in the bot lane, which can really catch a lot of teams, especially in the minor regions that aren't as disciplined, can really catch them off guard, things like Swain bot and whatnot. So of course that's going to leave us with our groups. So Harm or Life will top their group in Group A as they go undefeated, so they go 2-0. Next then we would have Red, as Red only played 1 game, so they won theirs, so they end up 1-0. LNG had to play Harmless, so they lost 1, but they also won 1, so they will be here as 1-1. And then of course we also have Infinity, they lost both of theirs. And then we would see Peace. Peace only played once and they lost 1. So they go here. Yeah. 4th by default. Let's go. And then, of course, Infinity, unfortunately, losing both of their games, would go to 0-2. Next, then, we would have our Group B. Cloud9 only played 1 game. So they would go to 1-0. Along with Beyond Gaming, who also only played 1 game. So they also would be tied at 1-0. Then we would have, of course, Detonation Focus Me being 3rd, based on the fact that they beat Unicorns of Love. So they would be 1-1 there, with Unicorns of Love also having 1-1, but based on tiebreaker rules. They would be behind Detonation Focus Me as they lost their game. And of course, then that would leave us, unfortunately, with Galatasaray. And I feel bad because the TCL team, they're actually a pretty good team, but I think this group is going to be very hard for them. I don't see them going 0-5 though, or sorry, 0-4 I should say. But yeah, it's going to be a very tough group for them. So that's it for me today. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know what you thought. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think LNG is going to beat Harm Alive? Do you think Peace is going to go undefeated? Let me know what you think. Absolutely love to hear from the fans, especially fans from the minor regions. It's really great when we have Worlds because we get to see a lot of these really great players from the minor regions come to Worlds, play against the well-known names, the well-known players from the major regions, and we get to see these great matchups. So I absolutely can't wait for tomorrow. It's going to be great. I know we're going to have some absolute great games. We're going to have some absolute great moments. I feel like it's going to be a really great world. But always stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you next time.